Hello, everybody. It's Steering here, back with another set of PRs here, doing Meloetta PRs. I'm here with Wikiwill. Will, introduce
Up,
yourself.
losers? How's it going?
There you go. So, we've done these before. I know I did a pre-ranking video, sort of, just to give you guys a little bit of, some tidbits there, a little bit of information that might help you later on. In this case, these are the actual rankings that we've decided. I know games have been played already, but we're not taking those into account at all. We are simply taking into account, what the teams are, not the players themselves or the records. If you want to pause the video here, these are the rankings on how we rank the teams. I'm going to scroll to the side here so you guys can actually see all of that there. These are the ways we rank the teams.
This is more so like just an on paper, like what we look for when we see teams and stuff. Me and Steering actually, I don't think we're going to agree on everything. I actually wrote most of this out myself, so it's mainly like my opinion.
Yeah, so
I know
definitely
Steering
jump
has
in. I have my opinions too.
Yeah, he'll jump in if he thinks I'm incorrect on certain things.
Yeah,
But
of course.
Without further ado, let's
just one more thing as well. The disclaimer. I do read the disclaimer myself as well. This does not mean your team performed badly. It's just an opinion. These are just simply opinions. And
it's just
you can outperform what we think easily.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you make it work, you make it work.
Exactly. All right.
If anything, we'll be more impressed.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll jump into the bottom team that we have here. Our bottom team is Final Crusader. Urshifu Rapid, Baxcalibur, Gengar, Vaporeon, Mega Metagross, Cresselia, Primeape, Colossal, Mudsdale, Crocalor make up this team. Will, because you did these ones, do you want to start off and kind of give me the rundown here?
Yeah, you might look at this and think, well, what's bad with this team? They have funny buttons like Urshifu, like Baxcalibur, like Gengar, but you look at the utility in this team and it's just horrendous to say the least. Your removal is colossal, which is quad weak to both water and ground, and it's you're gonna be pressured by I've seen some teams with really good hazard stacking surprisingly in this div. So it's you're gonna struggle really bad to clear hazards off your side of the field.
Yeah.
And not to mention you have all of these funny buttons, but you have no hardly any slow momentum. I can't remember if Crest gets teleport
It does
or not.
not.
I don't
it can't
think
pivot.
it does.
It cannot pivot.
Yeah, it can't pivot. I don't even know if it gets baton pass or anything.
The slow pivot is Vapo.
Yeah, and it's fine, but I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna work.
I'd say it's good.
And
I think, yeah, I see what you're saying. The biggest things for me,
your force, yeah, go on,
is actually just the type chart. I think you have the priority a little bit low here because I think Triage Primeape is a real set. Metagross gets Bullet Punch. Urshifu Rapid gets is Triage.
Are you really gonna bring Are you really gonna bring Primeape though over Urshifu that you've paid 90 points for?
I mean, you could bring both. I don't see why Primeape is on this team. Fair enough, but
yeah,
it's just the cryo's there.
I also just don't see why either
Yeah, go on.
I also don't see why Cresselia is on this team either. There's no dark type on this team either, which really
I was about to get into that. There's no dark, there's no fairy, there's no flying, there's no grass. So you open up yourself.
There's no normal.
You have no ground resist at all. Cresselia is not an immunity in this because Levitate's not a thing. I guess you can run EE and stuff, but still, you're weak to Psychic obviously because you don't have Dark. Same with the Ghost. Same with the Dark type itself, right? You get slaughtered by Ghost types.
There's zero Ghost resist outside of Purifying Salt, and even then, your best set is Purifying Salt Vape, but then you just get swallowed by electric types.
I would say this type chart's lower, and some other things are higher. But yeah, this is why this team is on the lower end of things. That type chart's you're missing a lot of crucial types is really the big thing.
Yeah, I think if you drop some of like your dupe types because you're doubling up on like a couple of types here,
Fire is a
like
weird double up.
fire,
Fighting's a weird double up.
fire,
Psychic
yeah,
is
fire, yeah, fire,
eh.
psychic fighting, yeah,
Double water is always fine, but like
yeah,
yeah,
double water's fine, yeah, but like I either drop Mega Metagross or drop Cresselia. Like I don't think you should have both.
I guess it's also a pretty physical offense, is what I'd say. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like your best special attacker is like
it's
Gengar.
Gengar, which is good,
But
but
yeah, it's fine.
it's carrying that side. Anyways, that's
Yeah,
that team. Onto our second bottom team, we have Onyx
yeah,
with the other Urshifu, Steela, Tinglu,
yeah.
Hatterene, Iron Leaves, Tentacruel, Meloetta, Cursola, Mismag, and Flareon.
Again, I really like the lack of utility is like really killing me here. It's better than the previous team because you have a good spinner and Tentacruel that automatically like bumps you up a few points. I really especially in this format, I value spin so much more than defog because everything just running like good as gold
Mm-hmm.
to like keep hazards up and stuff. Another like big red flag to me as well was just like the triple psychic, double dark, double ghost. Like, why?
So for me, when I look at this, I don't have an issue necessarily with the double dark. I think triple
Yeah,
psychic's a
like
little much. I think double ghost and both individual type ghosts is a
yeah,
bit of a yikes too. But this team
yeah,
is like one step away from being something really good, in
yeah.
my opinion.
I literally think if I think you just need to make decisions. Like, if you like decide what psychic
Everybody
type you
has to do
want.
that.
Yeah, like decide what psychic type you want. Decide what ghost type you want. You keep Urshifu and Tinglu. They do different things. It's fine. But like, I think if you like pick up a few like pivotal things, like an electric type would be amazing for this
But
team.
even what I'll say is this: this team still has switch-ins to everything it needs to switch into. I don't
Uh,
like its flying switch-in
I mean,
necessarily,
kinda.
but like Ting Lu can still switch into Ghost and Dark moves better than anything else, right? Like you
I
have
get.
switch into things. It's just a lot of things that get bullied, and then I also
I
don't like the
just
fact this team doesn't have a top speed.
Yeah, it's like 105 and like that's it. Like I truly think like I get you're probably going for like a trick room like team with Hatterene here because like you got Hatterene Cursor and you've got like Tinglu.
It doesn't
Like
work.
a really it's not enough for me.
It doesn't work, and I would love more knockoff usage here too. But yeah, this is why
Yeah,
this
it'd be
team's here.
really nice. This
Or
team just absolutely gets destroyed by knockoff. It does not enjoy it. Like
doesn't
even
have it
Urshifu
either.
is like quad resist to dark.
You
Yeah,
just
it doesn't appreciate a knockoff.
it's one or two steps away from being a great team, I think. Anyways, on the
Yeah,
next.
I just think you need to make a couple changes, but
Now
it's
we have
fine.
Dinas. Pulp, Heatran, Suicune,
Despite
Meow, Enamti, Dugtrio, Palmont, Shuckle, Rattata, and Jumpluff.
one thing, I do have to like give credit to like Dennis for here. I think this is the best team I think I've seen this person draft.
Yeah, Dinas has been getting better, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I really like up to like even up to Palmot. I just don't understand the last three. Like you were doing so well. Like you have really good like synergistic mons
It's
here
what
and like
happens when you
Heatran and
don't have a
Suicune.
budget.
Yeah, I feel like you just could have spent your low tier budget a little bit better.
Mm. I think,
It's like I don't know why you've paid 6 points for Shuckle. Like I get you want webs and like a little bit of hazards, but like it's just not necessary.
yeah. The thing I'm looking at,
Like the offense here is like real good.
yeah, true. The thing I'm looking, and so is the defense on
Like
this team. I think you have the defense really low for what it is. Like, I think this team's got a lot better defense than
yeah,
you've put it
it,
at. Trans, Suicune, EMT, even Shuckle's no laughing stock with defensive play. Even Pulp
I
can play
think you want to
defensive.
use like I think you want to use these pieces mainly like offensively though. Like Suicune, you want to get like set up P heal. Like
Mm,
the only like real defensive mon I see is like Enam that can like realistically like
not
take
really.
hits.
But that's where it comes to versatility. Like, those mons still make up the defensive core. It just isn't as versatile because of the role they may be locked into. And I mean, I look at this team and I see Meow and Dragapult putting out the offense, and you have three defensive mons in Heatran, Suicune, and EMT. Like, that's just the way the
Yeah,
team's
that's
going to
fair.
play.
I like
And
I
that's entirely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
The issues that
Like
do have.
I expect like these. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, the issues I do have is, and this is often the case when it comes to teams with Heatran on it. This team leans really heavy on that Heatran for its type chart
Mm-hmm.
and its resistances in general.
Yeah. It's like it's the only fairy resist. It's the only flying resist. It's like the only like outside of Suicune. It's the
your freeze
only
dry resist.
ice resist.
Yeah,
Yeah, a poison type on this team would be like huge.
it does. A poison type would go a long way. Also, like
Because
a second
yeah,
steal would go a long way. Look at the team and
yeah,
like
yeah. Like this team also has like no removal. So like if somebody wants to just pop T spikes on this team, there's like literally nothing they can do
there's
about it,
literally no
which
removal.
sucks.
Yeah, look, honestly,
Yeah, it's 0.
dropping your bottom three, getting a second steal would be great for this team, like a Doublade on this team,
Yeah,
and then maybe like a removal mon would be
yeah.
amazing for this team, and it would go fair
It would
way.
be phenomenal.
But it's on the right track, and I think this is Dina's
Yeah.
best team so far.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how they've like improved. And again, like I think we saw like week 1, they got like their first win,
Yep.
which is amazing. Like so, I'm just happy to see
Yeah.
them improving.
All right. Speaking of that win, we have Cardinal next.
Yeah.
The person who lost that week: Kyurem, Jirachi, Lando T, Rotom Wash, Samurott H, Pheasantipity, Sinistra, Pyroar, Passimian, and the 3 shit monkeys. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
Yeah.
take those 3 shit monkeys off this board, and the
Yeah.
type chart has actually become perfect all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I actually think you have this team a little low.
I don't know if I agree.
Well, I mean, these are your rankings, so of course you don't agree with me.
Yeah, I disagree. Like,
I mean,
I think he has
Go for it,
like
then.
the pieces. It's just like there's not enough. Like, I don't think there's enough hazards on this team either. Like,
we're playing
team
AAA.
really,
My guy, we're playing AAA.
I know.
Hazards aren't a big deal.
I this team like very much struggles with like flying types too. Like flying types, fairies. Again, you could say like, oh, yeah, Rachi's fine at dealing with them, but like again, as we said with like Dennis's team, I feel like this team like really relies on like Rachi to do some like heavy lifting. There's not really like too many support pieces for that, but like help
Okay.
it deal with like certain things.
So I hear you, and I'm going to disagree. Here's my points on this. I think.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I think the big thing that this team lacks in is its speed tiers. And I think you've definitely pointed that out. Having a 106 top
I
speed
agree with that.
isn't good enough. It's just
Yeah.
not good enough to hold up.
Yeah.
But
Especially when it's like a pyro.
of course. But when you get into this team's versatility, like Kyurem can do so many different things. So can Rachi, so can Lando. Rotom's a great defensive piece. So is Samu, so is Pheasantipity, right? There's even Sinistra's a good defensive piece, right? You have all of the pieces to make that good team. And there isn't any type where this team is lacking on switch-ins, right? You mentioned fairy types, but like Pheasantipity is a great fairy switch-in. So is Jirachi, right? Flying, you have a Rotom Wash. That's an amazing flying
true.
type too, right? You like this team's defense is really, really good for what it is. Offense is also very solid on this team. Like I think it's a team that can do really well. The only thing I'd say about it is maybe grabbing a faster fighting type or a faster normal than, Passimian or Pyroar
Yeah.
would put this team in a great spot. But I really like it.
Yeah. I think if you dropped like the pyro and the Passimian and added like I don't know, like a Mienshao, this team would be like a lot better.
Mian Shao's a 105 speed,
yeah,
so it
that's all
doesn't
I-
help. But
Yeah. I mean, there's not much like faster things on the board. Like
that's kind of what
maybe
you'd have
if
to
you
figure
drop,
out.
Pheasant, like Crobat or something. Yeah.
You'd have to figure out just more speed for this
I
team.
don't know.
But, it's a nice
Yeah.
team other than that, though. I actually quite enjoy it. I would love piloting that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think it's
Yeah,
it's a
fair
lot
enough.
lower than I think it'd be. Anyways, on to the next team. We've got Blizzcore, Megazam, Zero, Aura, Toxapex, Cobalion,
Yeah.
Typho Ace, Calypsopod, Florges, Rhyperior, Appleton, Knucklestack.
Yeah. I really like this team like defensively. I think this defense like it has like a really good speed tiers as well, along with like hazards. Like you have the Megazam that like I'm interested to see how it does.
Okay.
I like Zera. I like the Pex and Glisspot combo here. Actually, I think that's like one of the best. Like if you're gonna go double water, like this is probably like two mons you'd pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Cobal
I'm
is
just
a
listening.
yeah. Cobal is like a weird steal to me because it's like it it can like pivot out and like do things, but like I feel like it's just not as good as like an Iron Crown or something like that. It just seems like it's not like offensive enough to be a good fighting type. But I think I like the low end too. Like Rhyperior is a good pickup. I think like Appleton's an underrated pickup too. Yeah. Other than that, I quite like this team. I don't hate it really.
You ready for my
The ground
take on
weakness
this?
is like whatever because you can. Yeah, go on.
Cool. I'm in again the opposite boat as you. I don't like it. I really don't enjoy this.
You don't like this team?
First off, you said the speed tiers are good. A 143 to 108 gap, a 95 to 75 gap, and a 75 to 40 gap. The speed tiers aren't good. They have a good top
75
speed.
to 40 is not like that big a deal.
That's 35 speed points.
I don't think at least.
That's 35 speed points. I don't care.
But how many mons are gonna how many mons are gonna like
I know it's not the
that,
biggest thing
like,
in the
how many
world, but
mons are gonna
like
run that?
that's still pretty gaping. Florges is the only removal on this team. At least there is removal this time. The pivot is quite lackluster.
Yeah, there is removal.
The pivot is quite lackluster when this team wants pivot. Like you do not have a U-turn Pokemon. You do not have a flip turn Pokemon. A ground type stops the pivot entirely. This team does not have a ghost resist.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have a dark type.
Yeah,
Again,
true.
it does not have a flying type. Instead, it has double rock for some reason. Right? Like
yeah, I don't know why it's double rock. To be fair, that's
the
true.
Knuckle stack on this team could just as easily be a normal flying type, and you're in a lot better spot instantly.
Yeah, like
right,
if it's like a fucking Unpheasant or something, yeah, it could probably be a lot better.
Spearow, Pidgeot.
I've just noticed there is no flying type on this team.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I did mention that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm looking at here, and it's like the Cobalion Pex combo is fine because like usually I'd say, oh, your Steelers is fairy, so that's fucking shit. But
yeah,
Pex covers that pretty well, luckily.
Yeah, like Pex is like nice. Yeah.
It's just this team doesn't really have pivots, and when you have a Mega Zam, you need pivots to make it work. The Mon literally is made to get in and get out and be positioned properly. And this team doesn't have a way to position things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just so anti-synergy to me. That's kind
of
I
get that.
My thought process. I'd have this below Cardinal. I'd have it below Venus. Next one, we've got Damu, Gira-O, Sneasler, Primarina, Goldengo, Thundy T, P2, Meganium, Tauros, Execute. I'm going to just get rid of that real quick.
Yeah, it's...
Alright,
it's
Stunfisk.
not real.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of those kinds of mons because they just... Yeah, they're not here.
Yeah, I get
and it looks better instantly doing that too, so I'd like to give the benefit of the doubt in that regard.
Yeah, that's true. No dark type again.
Yeah,
I just noticed.
I see what Damu's trying to do to make up for it and double normal instead.
Yeah.
But what scares me is how...
I just think you could just... Yeah.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Just get rid of Tauros, I'd say. Like, if you get rid of Tauros, get like Go-Go or something instead of Meganium, and like...
I don't know.
All of a sudden, like... I think they've spent too many points in just, like, the wrong...
On the top.
Like, because I don't think Sneasler fits this team at all.
I mean, like, the Sneasler is the source of offense.
Yeah, it is. But, like...
I think...
I don't know. Like, this team just gives me, like, bulky offense.
What I would point to is this and this. You have two ghosts. And you're spending 37 combined points. Sorry, 38 combined points for those two ghost types. Which is probably what's opening you up to those weaknesses.
Yeah, like, pick one.
I like Gyro.
I think Gyro is better for this team.
I don't think Dango is the right piece with that.
I think if you drop Dengo, you get a lot of points back, and you can fix your
Kind
lower
of
end
work
as
with
well.
lower end. Yeah, with that. What I will say, like, double normal is a great way to try to make up for it, for,
Yeah,
not having a dark. But my concern with that team is the fact that it's super weak to psychic. Right? Dango's not going to be able to take on every expanding force, every stored power set in the world.
yeah, it's true.
Otherwise, though, I like it. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it's why I put it as a 9 defensively. Like Prim's a good defensive piece, Gyro's a good defensive piece, P2's really good. Like it pairs with a lot of this stuff like really well.
I wouldn't put it that high.
Stunfisk and Meganium.
But yeah, no, like there's good pieces here.
What?
It's just there's also missing
Yeah,
pieces. It's just as simple as that, right? This team needs a dark type and doesn't need double ghost.
yeah,
Fire type would help too because you only have one fire resist in that Dango.
yeah. That's true.
Right? There's
Yeah,
ways
it's
to
like
fit it a bit better. Double electric doesn't really.
otherwise,
Like, it's
yeah,
fine, I guess, but like,
yeah.
I guess.
It's like Stunfisk is a fine ground type, I suppose, but like, yeah, I think that's another thing you can look for with
There's just some weird
with getting rid of
overlapping
Dango here.
pieces. It's just really what it is. There's just some pieces that overlap, but they really shouldn't. Is what I'd say.
Yeah.
Anyways, on
Next
the next
team.
we got Cyril, Zama, Gouging Fire,
Yeah.
Raikou, Keldeo, Skarmory, Nidoking, Scurrientail, Mabosstiff, Thwacky, and Why Not? I'm gonna get rid of the Why Not. Does it do anything for the type chart? No.
Yeah.
Cool.
It literally does nothing.
Doesn't help.
Apart from stopping this team being Ghost Week, I guess.
Still Ghost Week as far as I'm concerned.
They have a Dark type at least.
They have a Dark
This is an
type.
improvement.
Yes, they do have a Dark type, but it is Mabosstiff.
Yeah.
Not the most bulky Dark type in the world.
It's enough, I guess.
I mean, do you want to say your piece?
Yeah. I really like how, because they're clearly going for, some, bulky offense here. Like, with Gouging Zama, they're clear, and, Skarm here, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly, their game plan is to just eat hits and just dish out as much damage as they can. And just fucking annoy their opponent's mons as much as they can, especially with, Gouging and, Zama just being able to, recover health with P-heals super easy.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
What I am kind of with this team is there are certain mons that I don't think that you really need. Why is Keldeo here? You have the Zama. You could literally have picked any other water type.
Mm-hmm.
Nidoking is fine. I don't hate it. Thwacky is also fine. Your speeders are fine too, but again, you open yourself up to a flying and ground weakness, which is the worst, or a flying ice weakness, which is the worst thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. I think I'm agreeing with you on most of these points.
Yeah. Utility could be. It's fine, I guess, but it could be better.
I think the one thing I do is I drop the Why Not, I drop the Keldeo, I grab just a normal, a regular water type and a normal type, and I think it's in a better spot.
Yeah.
I do look at the type chart and see
it's a way
that
better
every
spot.
type has multiple resistances to it, except for A, Ghost, B, Ice.
Yeah.
Right? And Keldeo being the Ice resist isn't always gonna make it up. I know it's got some decent bulk on it, but it's also a Keldeo. It's double immutable. It can be a non-factor in a lot of matchups, even if your opponent's prepping properly for it.
Yeah, 100%. It's not bulky enough. I don't think.
No, 90-90-90 is good bulk. It gets by.
It's fine, but it's but when you've got double weaknesses to worry about, flying's really bad for this team outside of Skarmory.
Yeah.
And Raikou, I guess, but Raikou's just not bulky enough either.
I would say the type chart is a little more deceptive than what it shows. I think it's the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a bad team.
But
There's just a few changes again that can make it better.
Yeah. Definitely, I'd definitely make some changes here.
All
But
right.
otherwise, like if you make the changes, like you'll get there.
On to the middle now. We have
Next team.
Giratina, Iron Boulder, Mandibuzz, Hippowdon, Ogerpon, Volcarona, Blastoise, Magnezone, Kamala, Sylveon, and Mantike. Once again, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Get rid of Mantike because
Yeah,
it's not
do
going to
that.
do a game.
Does it make the type chart better or worse?
It switches some weaknesses around. It doesn't
Yeah.
make it better. It doesn't really make it worse. You just have a weakness to water instead of to rock by doing that.
Yeah.
Like the big thing I see here is
Where are your hazards?
well, that's not my big deal.
Like,
I don't care much about hazards.
I do. I like hazards.
It's more just where is your utility outside of the outside of pivot.
They have two really good rapid spinners.
Where's your knockoff? Where's your taunts? Where's your
Mandibuzz kind of functions as that. I think I think they probably have the best dark type on this list.
I mean, it's possible, but Mandibuzz isn't a taunt user really. Like it can't fit it in his move pool all the time.
I mean, I fit top Mandy before.
I mean, you
I've had it work.
It's just not common, right? Because then you're giving up what Roost or Defog or Pivots or it's knockoff or foul play.
I feel like this person can afford to do that because of their spin utility, though. Like they have really good spin here. Like,
but then you're still getting rid of knock or foul play.
They can even like run foul play over dog because they can just run like spin knock Kamala.
In some scenarios, I guess, but
with like regen, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid, all things considered, I think.
Yeah, like the team has like I've probably placed the offense like kind of low thinking about it. Like I didn't think how good Volcarona and Iron Boulder like cover each other's weaknesses, like offensively. Like I think this team could probably do pretty well offensively, especially like with Sand with Boulder raising its SPDF like even more.
Sand. We're playing
you have Hippo, you can run Sand.
I guess.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Why would you run Sand when you can run like a P-Heal Hippowdon or a Regen Hippowdon? And, actually have it as a physical wall for your team. I think, honestly, I look at this team and I say it could use a bit more offense on it.
Yeah.
Right? You only really have Boulder, Ogerpon, Volcarona. That's great, but, you could open it up.
Blastoise can be offensive. I think it's a really good water for this team. And Magnezone too. I wouldn't underestimate Magnezone.
That's true. I would say Blastoise is just a more defensive mon in general, but you could have more offense. I think it's a really good team though for what it is. I think it's a little bit low on your ratings here, to be honest. But
yeah, I would say it's probably the best team we've seen so far.
Well, yeah. All right. Anyways, on to the next one. We got Tempered, Mew, Wellspring, Crown, Swellow, Deancey, Infernape, Chestnut, Clefairy, Selgor, Surskit. This team should really be lower than where it is.
You think so?
Yeah. I think the last time we looked at it's a lot better than this one.
I just really liked look at how much utility and stuff they have on this. They're clearly.
I got a 3-letter word for you. It's called Mew.
Yeah, it's Mew, but outside of Mewtwo, there's actually pretty good.
I guess, there's
spike setters. There's good T-spikers. It doesn't have to The thing I like about this team is that it doesn't have to rely on Mew for everything, which lets Mew run more offensive sets.
I guess just the big thing for me is I don't like the offense. I don't see a lot of breaking power here.
Offensive Iron Crown, especially with Psysurge up, is really good here.
I agree, but I think Crown is sometimes Crown, sometimes Wellspring are really the only breakers on this team. You've got a lot of mons that like to clean games.
Crown, Wellspring, Infernape is a really good break for this team too.
Infernape's not really a breaker though; it's more of a cleaner. 104 doesn't always get through.
I mean, with Desolate Land or just fucking Sword or Beads, Infernape's one of those versatile mons that I think is very underestimated when it comes to breaking power.
It's just to me when I look at this team, I don't see that big stat that most other teams are gonna have.
I guess. like I think this team's fine. There's a lot of weaknesses for sure, but like I think this team is more about like playing quickly and like playing to its advantages of just like stacking hazards and just like trying to get the games over quickly. I
Well,
think this team excels like really well with that.
it doesn't have a ground. It doesn't have a dark. It doesn't have a poison. It doesn't have an electric. Like,
Oh, ooh, yeah.
right? It's
Shit, how did I not notice that?
there's some big type chart issues you're gonna get into here as well, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
your
true,
only fairy
yeah.
resist is also your only breaker, other than Ogrepon in Iron Crown,
You know what?
right? Like,
I'm just gonna move this down here.
your
There we
ghost
go.
switching is a Swellow, and that is it. Your switch to
that's it,
electric
I
is a
suppose,
Chestnut. Chestnut doesn't have. It's not known for its
Yeah.
Spadef. Right? Like, sure, you
Yeah.
can immune some of it, but I don't think. I think it's a little bit worse than where you've placed it, to say the least. Double Grasp,
Yeah.
Double Bug will do that.
Yeah, I guess I would very much. I mean, we could also just like do this to see how this affects it.
I mean,
I actually think that looks a lot better, but
still
Still
doesn't
not-
change the issues
not great.
with resists, right? I'm not.
yeah,
When I look
Yeah,
at
for
type
sure.
charts, I'm not usually mentioning reds like when I look at it, I'm mentioning how many resists you have to each individual type and how are you hitting it back. Right? When you only have one fairy resist,
yeah,
and it's also your offensive piece, or you only have one ice or one electric resist, and it's not even a ground, and it's not Spadef, then the issues start to arise.
yeah.
If you have
That's true.
If you have 5
Like-
ice weaknesses and 3 good resists, I couldn't care less. You have 3 good resists. Switch into
Yeah,
those
it's
3
fine. You have
resists.
3 good resists, but it's like you don't really have great resists. You
get
rely on
overwhelmed,
like
it's
DNC for a
Yeah.
lot. You rely on Chestnut a lot, which are like fine combo pieces.
You
I
lean on
suppose,
Crown
but,
a
like-
lot, but I think the big thing this team needs is a breaker,
Yeah,
and to get rid of some of those double
Yeah.
types to get some more single types. Or
Get-
not single types,
get a
but
poison, get a ground, get a
get a
dark.
dark. Yeah, that kind of thing.
A dark's the main one.
And
You
a
can
breaker.
get rid of a Selgor here, I think. as
I would
well.
encourage
I
you
don't
to
think you
find
need it.
something that has over 125 in an attacking stat, just to use the breaker,
Yeah.
because you don't have that, and that's a concern for me too.
That's
Anyways,
true.
on the next team, we go
Khalib.
It's Khalib. Luna, Heartflame, Hydreigon, Togekiss, Manaphy, Kilowattrel, Melmetal, Sneasler, and Sui, Carkol, and Zora Sui. Holy fuck, that offense is crazy. What the
Yeah, the
hell?
offense is really good.
You only gave it an 8? God fucking damn, bro. What? Okay. That's like a
Eh,
That's like a 10 out of 10 offense, bro. I can't tell you otherwise. Like,
like I feel it. It
It doesn't
how do
have
I,
much
like,
defense.
Say this? I
it
feel,
doesn't have much defense.
Yeah, it's not.
But, like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
like
It's,
honestly, when I look at this, I would go 10 on the offense, and I would go 4 on the defense. Right? Like, same ratings, just
yeah, that's fair.
different spot. Like, I guess there's a lot of natural bulk, sure. But when is Ursaluna,
Yeah.
Heartflame, Hydreigon, Togekiss, or Melmetal really going to take the
Melmetal,
defensive role all
yeah.
the time?
What? Yeah, like
They don't wanna do
what-
that.
One of the things, this team would very much love like a Trick Room setter. It would be like this team would be like a lot. This team would be like second if this had like a good Trick Room setter.
I guess, but like, you don't really need it, right? Melmetal's still gonna get in and click double iron bash. Ursaluna's still gonna get in and do its poison heal thing.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I think it depends on the matchup. To be honest,
Yeah, I guess, but
because
think-
like there.
yeah,
What I've learned with like using Luna this season, like because I have Luna in my division,
yeah.
is there are like certain checks and there are like certain things you need to be like concerned about
I
when
mean, yeah.
like using P heal.
Not many. I do like the type chart here though, as well. I think
Yeah,
that's
the
pretty
type chart's
solid.
really nice. It's a lot better. I think I placed this team just about like where it needs to be.
I'd say it's higher.
There's
I'd say it
Um,
should be higher place than where it is. That's
Yeah.
just my thought process on the matter. Like the amount of breakers on this team is completely bonkers. And the thing is, you can
Yeah,
still
it's
turn
pretty good.
Hydreigon, Togekiss, Manaphy, Melmetal, Ursaluna into defensive pieces. It's not gonna be all the
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
They don't want to do it, which is why I have the defense so
Yeah.
low. But it can.
Yeah,
right? And that's
for
why I
sure.
really like this team. Like, I think it's a really solid team. I think it's a once you get going, get your offense going, you aren't going to get stopped. I do think over Zorua H webs could be nice for this team
Yeah, yeah, that's
because
true. I could agree with that.
getting webs down, this team will start to steamroll things.
Yeah, 100%. They appreciate webs. I think they also really like T spikes here too.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. Anyways, I think that's this team. On the next team, we got Kizuko, Archeops, Ironmoth, Empoleon, Gyarados, Diggersby, Galvantula, Guzzlord, Tinkaton, Machamp, and Decidueye. This is the first team where we've seen every mon on the team actually be useful. I think.
Yeah, and that's why this is where it is.
It's
Like
got
there's
some
there's
decent
good
versatility to
utility
it.
here. There's good pivot. It's what a hyper offense needs.
I wouldn't call it HO.
Like you
I'd
even
call it all
have some
pretty all
like
around.
good. Yeah, like you have good defensive pieces like Guzzlord, the Decidueye, Tinkaton is like a great little like defensive core there for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Archeops is like broken as we know. Like that one's really funny.
It's good. I mean, time for me to start ripping into this a bit myself. Diggersby is, it's so mid. It's 423 base stat. It's a
it
huge
doesn't
power
do
mod
enough.
still. It's still running huge power every week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not great. I don't like the fact that you have two 110s on this team either. Both of your best mons have the same speed tier,
Yeah.
which is gonna make it a little bit easy to creep.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's gonna find any better weapons at this point in time, but
I also don't
Yeah.
like Iron Moth. Like just in this format. Like it's so checkable in this format.
I
I
think
don't
that's
know
your
why it's so
personal
high.
opinion. I don't agree with that entirely. I think Sheer Force Life Orb goes kind of hard, but
Like I just think there's so many checks. Like
pivot out on the things
running
that
like
stop
well
you.
baked or like
Pivot out on the well baked. Right, if you play a moth right, it can be
I-
super scary.
I guess.
It's just where you're
I
positioned.
don't know. I'm just not a. Yeah. I also just don't think it fits on this team either.
I can agree with a little bit more, but I still think it's probably one of the best special offensive mons you're gonna find at this point.
Yeah.
It's like I
guess.
can't realistically suggest someone dropping that. What I will say, this team does have more
Yeah.
priority than you've put down. Machamp is a triage option. Decidueye has priority as well.
Oh, true. I didn't think about Machamp. I literally thought they had like Shadow Sneak, Decidueye, and like that was it. They
Yeah.
don't really have
No,
like
triage
much
Machamp.
else.
The other,
Yeah,
I
I'll give
think
that a 1 then.
the concern that I do have though is, the defensive pivot on this team isn't really amazing, right? You have, Decidueye can get things in, and Empoleon can get things in, and Iron Moth can pivot out on the threat. But, I'd
Yeah.
love to see another piece that can do the same. But this seems like
Can
it's
I
an
ask
HO
like a
team.
genuine question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is Gyarados here? Like, what does it do? what does it do for
Sweeps
this team?
things, I guess.
I guess, but like,
It is kind of just
I guess, yeah. I just feel like it. Yeah, I feel like you could just drop it and get something like much better.
I'd rather you drop Diggersby first. That mon is just not going to do anything for you. But I think it's
Yeah, true.
This team's
Like
a solid
that's what
HO
I'm.
team.
That's what I'm saying.
This team's an HO team that leans
Yeah,
on
it's-
Galvantula
it's-
for webs and pivots through Empoleon.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Like, like your defensive things do things, and you can use like your slow pivot to capitalize on the offense that you have.
Yeah. I guess my concern is just like specific immutable checks to this team will make it a little bit hard to run that HO style that this team really wants to play.
Yeah, like if somebody slows the games down for this person, they're gonna really struggle. I think.
Excuse me, yeah. Anyways, on to M-Stand next. Weavile, Feeny, Metagross, Delmise,
Yeah.
Rune, Minshao, Thundurus, Muck, Braviary, Samurott. It's solid, right? Like we're getting some solid teams here now.
Yeah.
A lot of the pieces there, you have checks to everything you need. You have all the types you need.
Everything. Yeah.
What I will
Like
say,
you can. Yeah. Go on.
the special offense is lacking on this team. You
Yeah,
have
a little
Thundurus,
bit.
but sometimes Thundurus wants to go physical. And then what? You have
Yeah.
Samurott is your next best special attacker?
Yeah, it's not great.
I think the offense is a little 1D. in that regard.
Feeny.
I guess, but again, that's only a 95 special attack. It's a setup threat. You don't have any immediate special threat on this team,
Yeah.
which can be a little bit concerning in some situations.
Yeah, it's a little detrimental, but like, I really like the hazard game here. I really like the pivot that you have. You have really good momentum for your teams.
I just kind of look at it
Which is
and I'm
what.
like, stop by Fluffy, stop by Fluffy, stop by Fluffy, physical stats are stop by Fluffy, that's stop by Fluffy. Right? And
Yeah, that's true.
that's kind of my concern with the offense.
Like we've all less so because it has like things like icicle crash
It's got
and like
beat up.
Metagross.
Is its thing,
Yeah.
but
Metagross also because it gets things like Psychic Fangs and like Psycho Cut and stuff, which are non-contact,
Psychic Fangs
which you
is
can
non-contact?
capitalize on.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool, actually. I mean, I guess like there's waves, but I just think there's some one-dimensional in the offense here that could be more 2D.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't. Yeah,
That's my
I
big
don't
criticism.
disagree.
Otherwise, I mean,
Yeah.
everything's great. Good hazards, good setup, good pivot, good removal, great knock,
Yeah.
good taunt.
Yeah.
So
Just great utility for this team. I really like it.
I think this team grabs a better special, like another special breaker, and you're golden. Like Braviary doesn't need to be a physical breaker when you can just grab a special one instead.
Braviary doesn't need to be here, to be honest. Like I think you can get like a better normal. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Great
but,
budget pick. It's just not the fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not the fit for like this team.
That's all I really say. Like, just grab a better special attack when this team's golden. Anyways, on to Tox. Valiant, D-Knight, Treads, Bundle, Ensign, Jellicent, Ditto, Helios, Go-Go, Coughing.
Yeah, one thing I do like admit, I think the offense should be like a 10 out of 10 for this team. This team has like ridiculous offense.
No, I don't think so.
Like Val D-Knight bundle with like good defensive support with like Ensign,
but that's
Helios,
like
Ditto's really nice for this team.
But that's, I think, the correct rating for this kind of offense. Like, it's nothing crazy. I think the defense isn't anything crazy either. I just think it's a balanced team being a balanced team.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty.
Yeah. Could probably do with a bit more hazards, but otherwise I think it's like fine. Like you have good spin, you have good pivot. Like
yeah, when I look at this team, it's just there's not much to say about it. I mean, the speed tiers could be better. It's just everything is sort of the middle of the road. There's nothing that's really excelling on this team. Nothing super crazy. Like, Valiant's great, sure. Bundle's great, sure. But the offense doesn't stand out. The defense doesn't stand out. Great teams have everything standing out to me. This team doesn't have anything standing out to me. That's not always a bad thing. Which is why it's here. But it's just kind of an all-around team.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, like, they have a good dark type. They have, like, good type chart.
Yeah,
like the fighting weakness is a little yikes, but like
you have 4 resists.
You have Jellicent, you know.
You have 4 great resists.
Fluffy Mons, like
Valiant's coming every game. D-Knight's coming to 8 out of 9. Like
like I like Jellicent's probably coming to most games too, and
Ditto's not a weakness.
Like they cover each other like very well. Yeah,
Ditto's, true. You're transforming every time, so it's there's just not much to say.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyways, on to the top 3. Third, we have T-Rod, Swampert, Victini, Megavinu, Haxorus, Daxpun, Skuntank, Aerodactyl, Zoro H, Spidops, Hitmon, Top Kaparaja. I wouldn't have this in my top 3, but I want to hear why you have it.
You wouldn't?
I would not, but let me hear what you had here.
Round 1 Swampert's like weird, but like I really like the supporting like mons for this team. Like I really like Zoroark, I really like Victini. Megavinu is quite nice for this, I think. Raja as like a steal is like the only thing I'd say. Like Skunktank's very underrated as well. I think for like defensive dark. It's like the budget AV regen mon, I think, yeah.
Okay. I just think there's some weird pieces on this team. Like I think there's some really, really good bulk that this team can make use of.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling
Yeah,
to find...
that's why I have it so high.
I struggle to find the it factor on this team. Right? Kind of the same thing I said earlier about one of the other teams.
I guess, yeah. That's
What's
like
that mon that's going to carry you?
It's probably Victini.
It's Zoro or Victini, I guess.
Or Haxorus.
But like
Zoro, Victini, Haxorus, I think.
I guess if I'm T-Rod, I'd grab a more lethal like weapon than Zoroark.
Yeah.
But that's really what I got, right? It can be good, but I think there's a lot of pieces that can be immune as well in this offense.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's kind of... And you only really have 3 or 4 good offensive mons on this team. So that's kind of, I guess, my concern. I think the defense is great. I don't agree with you on Skunk Tank, but I think Mega Venu Pert is a pretty good core. I don't like the fact that it's a Mega, but, it's a pretty good bulky one anyways. Raj is good.
Yeah, it's one of the better Megas.
So, like, it can make it work pretty well.
Yeah, look,
but I'd have it lower.
Yeah, like they have good removal too. Like Hitmontop is fine.
Young shit Montop. But yeah, that's what I got for it. Not much to say otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, after we get through all these teams, I'd like to see how you would order these teams too.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think that would be interesting.
I'll show you afterwards then. Anyways, Team 2, we got Soltec. Iron Hands, Corviknight, Darkrai, Azelf, Gastrodon, Latios, Okidogi, Archon, Impidip, Abra. Once again, another team where 2 mons don't exist. Get rid of those. I refuse to believe either of them are real. Arkin can come to games, so I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
The offense is solid, and it pivots through Corviknight. I don't think there's much to say.
Yeah.
I do think it's really weak to Ghost. It's really weak to Fairy. It's really weak to Ice. Like, the types it's weak to, it's
I think
really weak to.
Yeah, like, I would drop Laddie. Like, I don't usually say this because I love the Laddies, but, like, I'd drop Latias on this team, and it would be so much better.
In a heartbeat. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's more speedsters you need to round out, but there's definitely missing types here. I wouldn't have this number 2 either.
Yeah.
Right? When you're missing a Fairy type.
Yeah.
And you're missing a Grass.
You're missing a Fairy, you're missing a normal.
You're gonna struggle in some places there.
Like the merit for this team is, like, luckily his pieces work really well together.
There's some solid breakers on this team, yeah. But
like, Azelf Darkrai's, like, really nice.
Azelf
Darkrai hands is really solid.
I think the offense synergizes together really well. 3. I don't see why the hell an Okidogi's on this draft at all. I don't see why Latios is here. Like, I think after your top 5, there's just mons that shouldn't be on this draft.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it. Like, beyond the top 5, I just don't see a team.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's the best top 5
you expect
on the board.
To see this top 5... Yeah, you think it's the best top 5?
Yeah, easily. I think...
Yeah.
As much as we give a lot of shit to Darkrai, like, it's supported really well by itself in hands. That's a great top 5.
It's supported really well, yeah, that's a great top 5.
You just got to round out that bottom end to something that supports it better. Because right now it's just...
Yeah.
Nothing's... What's going on with it.
Like, drop this, and, like, work from here.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I think this is great. Like, this is the beginning of something, like, really strong.
Even Arkin's not bad.
A lot of people...
It's just...
Yeah, like, a lot of people are going to struggle with this in this div.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think I would have it a little bit lower, but there's the building... It has the best building blocks of a good team. Anyways, last team. Top team from Will. IDK.
This team.
Terrakion, Enamorus, Milotic, Scizor, Coco, Alola Muck, Sandaconda, Munchlax, Gloom, Charjabug. Yeah, fair enough. The only comment I can give with this team is Gloom should be a different grass type, and Charjabug should be a different bug type.
Fair enough. I think it functions fine.
This team wants a pure bug. This team wants a pure grass.
Yeah.
The extra typings get in the way of the weaknesses on this team, right? You don't need a
Yeah,
secondary poison.
I think that's fine.
You don't need a secondary poison. You don't need a secondary electric when you can have
Yeah,
two more
but otherwise,
resists to ground. Your only type that you're weak to.
yeah,
Like as soon as you shore that up, your only weakness is gonna be flying, and you'll have another fly. Like, I guess that's the other concern I have, but there's ways to
yeah.
figure that out, right? The flying resistance is a bit
Like
of a pain, but
you have a Coco, like you have like bulky enough Moms to like deal with it.
I think the reason why this team is number one, and I will agree that it is, the offense is berserk.
Yeah, it's
Tarak,
insane. Like
Enam,
Enam track
Coco is just bonkers. And Melodic Alolamux
is really
Sandaconda
gross.
Scizor is, a great support. That's a really
It's
good supporting
great
core.
supportive defense. Yeah.
I do think this team needs a
Yeah.
secondary steal. I am a believer of secondary steals, especially
I agree.
when your steal is a bug or a grass. I believe the team
Yeah.
needs a second steal.
Yeah, like I don't hate it because their low tier is pretty good too. Like Sandaconda's a fine ground type. Like Munchlax is a fine normal type. Like
Yeah, I just think it's more
fine.
for me. The Gloom and the Charger Bug can definitely be changed up, and then maybe you can shave
Yeah.
points off the Sandaconda down to something cheaper, or the Alola Muck
Yeah.
down to something cheaper. Right,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I would
I
say with this
expect.
team.
Yeah, I expect IDK to do really well in
Fair enough.
this season.
I do think the
with this
speeches
team.
are also pretty shitty.
Like,
Good top three. That's
they're
it.
not the
103, 130 down to 108, 106 down to 81. That's the yikes.
yeah.
But
Like everything under Enam, you kind of expect to run defensive anyway.
anyways, I'm gonna give my opinion on the best team here.
Yeah, you can rearrange this. I'm
Well,
curious to see how.
I'm just gonna give my best team because I'm the only one. I'm gonna say it now, and that's it. I think my favorite teams on this board, I would say top two for me, are Khalib and Cardinal. Actually, with their teams,
Yeah.
Cardinal you have
Cleaves is
bottom
nice.
5.
Yeah.
Khalib you have at 7, I think. But in my opinion, those are the top. And then this team of the IDKs, I think, are my top 3 teams on this board. At least that I would put at 1, 2, 3.
That's fair.
But anyways, that's Meloetta PRs for you guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Go give us shit in the chat if you'd like to. Subscribe for more. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Bye.